Now, then you play his fucking hits.
He's swerve enough. He's really just gonna say Bofa.
He got better songs on the album coming. Don't worry.
Yuck.
All right,
Drive. It's my power.
go for it.
I am a booking god.
Welcome to Book It, a wrestling podcast where we book and revisit your favorite wrestling storylines. I'm your commissioner, High Five Mike, and today I have your GMs Damone, D Money Allen,
Hello, monkeys.
Whoa.
Prime Time Travie T,
No comment.
Lil Fudge,
Ligma balls.
and the bad guy, Kenny.
Hi.
I'm just getting ready for a Tessa promo.
We got 2 more weeks. But we are starting the 4th round of this BookItVerse, and we're gonna start off with DPW for the bad guy. Want to tell us about your brand?
So from what we know right now, what's going on is JTG. He's been harassing Jeff Hardy and his family. Then you got TDJ, who's willing to pay off anybody at the moment. Like if he needs something done, he will pay it off, and it happens. The only person
who's TDJ Kenny?
The owner, Ted DiBiase Jr., of course.
No primetime Travie T.
We don't care about him. He stinks.
You in the ratings, bitch.
I don't care. And then we got trying to think what else. Yeah, at the moment that's like our
A whole lot of mid.
You said a whole lot of what?
Mid.
Hey, that's fine.
I love that Playboy Cardi album.
Yeah, so that's what's going on with that right now. So we get into a little more detail about in the actual builds and stuff.
Okay. Well, if you don't know what we're talking about, this is BookItVerse. This is our 3rd BookItVerse. BookItVerse is our own companies. We put them together. We fantasy book, and if you haven't started, go back, listen to at least this BookItVerse, or go back to the first BookItVerse. But this is mostly what we're doing. It's fantastic. We're gonna go ahead and start with round 4.
Such good shit.
Just good shit.
That's about the BookItVerse in general, not Kenny, by the way.
All right, so we are this is the pay-per-view Anarchy Rules, and we are in Madison Square Garden in New York City, New York. And the theme is Tarantula by Smashing Pumpkins. Okay. So we're gonna start off like this. So we're gonna start off with the GOAT female, Toni Storm. So Toni Storm proves she's a fighting champion as she defends her title week 1 against Nia Jax, right after defending it against Serena Deeb at the pay-per-view in a death match days before. So just to prove she's a fighting champion, she's like, I can defend against somebody else right after that. So while she's holding her shoulder and getting her arm raised, the undefeated Jade Cargill's music hits. She comes out with a microphone and says, I feel like the women in wrestling don't get the respect they deserve. You've had quite the run, Toni. The underdog strikes again. You've had a great run even after you had a roadblock and losing to a gymnast ninja warrior. But you showed us that the underdog is never out of the fight when you got the title back. The true underdog story. And she sticks her finger in her mouth, pretending to throw up. Oh my gosh, we're sick of this. I'm starting to lose my place.
You're 2 sentences in. How are you losing your place already?
No, it's switched up. Let me go. It went to a whole other pay-per-view when it did that.
Well, you should do that.
But also,
Okay.
I can't stand by you saying Toni Storm is the GOAT female. She's not.
Yeah.
Not in any BookItVerse ever.
Mike, who's the GOAT female?
Charlotte.
Incorrect. Becky Lynch.
She's the GOAT here. She's the one who's getting good ratings.
Molly Holly.
No, it's Becky Lynch.
Don't
Molly
yet.
Holly.
Don't care. Ivory better.
She says, OMG, we're sick of this. We get it. You're a hero. We don't care anymore. I'm here to tell you this is real life. The big bad wolves prevail in this world. This isn't a movie. I'm the premier athlete. You are just a thick white girl with a mediocre moveset. So do us all a favor. After I beat you at Anarchy Rules and I hold the title high above my head and the crowd hates on me, you should pick up your head high, walk up that ramp, go to your husband, and retire. Tony has her hands on her hip and shaking her head in disbelief as the crowd boos. I came to get what is around your waist, to become the greatest women's champion to ever grace God's green earth. Tony calls for a mic. She says, sounds like jealousy to me. You're still new to this. Let me get you some advice, Jade. And the crowd starts cheering. She says, doesn't mean you deserve this gold belt. You want the belt, bitch. Then come and take it. So week 2, Jade comes out and says, week in, week out, I put my body on the line. I put myself through hell every week for your entertainment. You don't wake up sore. You don't wake up having to depend on medication just to get up out of bed and not feel like shit. I'm here looking at another ugly crowd every week because I have to put money on the table for my kids to make sure my daughter lives comfortably. I miss my daughter's first steps. As a mother, do you know how this feels? And you people hate on me because I'm confident in my abilities? You are the bad guys. You hate on hard work. You hate on me because TDJ believed in me. You hate on me because I'm good looking. Jealousy is something else, huh? I'm the future of this business. And TDJ sees this. I will be the champion, Tony. This crowd can boo me all they want, but just know when I take that title off your hands and I raise it high above my head, you will know that the Jade Empire has begun. Later on that night, Tony ends up beating Carmella, and Jade Cargill beats Eva Marie. And in week 3, Jade beats Christy Hemme, and Tony beats Brooke Adams. After Tony's win, she calls for a mic. She says, I don't understand. Last week, were we supposed to be jealous of you or feel sorry for you? What were you trying to get across? So what? You train hard. All of us do that. There are no lazy competitors here. We all earned our spot here. That's why we're here in the big leagues. No, me and TDJ don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, but he recruited me. And I've been a fighting champion. I was the underdog for a long time. I no longer am the underdog. And our Anarchy Rules, I will show you I'm no longer underdog. You will see the fighter, Tony Storm, lace up her boots and do a little ass kicking. So if you want to see me, sorry, I can't read today. So if you want to see that, give me a beat that bitch ass. And the crowd chants, beat that bitch ass. I'm gonna be in the locker room. Wait,
Who said that now?
It's Tony Storm saying that.
Okay.
She said, she had like a British accent, just like, beat that bitch ass.
Yeah, beat that bitch arse. She said arse.
I'm gonna have some fish and chips with that shit.
He says, so if you want to see that, then give me a beat that bitch ass. The crowd chants, beat that bitch ass. I'm gonna be in that locker room, waiting for my name to be called. Take a sip from my water, fired up because I'm ready to. And the crowd chants, beat that bitch ass. I'm going to come down, gold on my waist, smile on my face. And Bruce Buffer will say, your DPW women's champion hails from New Zealand as I walk down, determined and ready to beat that bitch ass. Go through hell and high water, then get the pen after I beat that bitch ass. Then I'll leave the ring and jump in the crowd as always because I just beat that bitch ass. The crowd cheers and she drops the microphone and gets on the turnbuckle with her arm raised. Week 4, Jade wins in her singles match against Ivory. Jade puts Ivory in sleeper for the win. Tony wins the 10-woman Royal Rumble match, tossing out NJ for the win.
You're getting a quarter taken off for that.
Vince McMahon calls for a contract signed this same night. Tony sits there with the
microphone. Of course, Vince McMahon shows up after the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. He got about $12 million to spare tonight.
Yeah, damn it. He's a lot of potential tonight. So Vince McMahon calls for a contract signing the same night. Tony sits there with the microphone and her feet on the table crossed, and Jade is on the other side standing up amped. And she says, this is the part where I whip your ass and security comes out and stops us. We can be cordial. It doesn't have to be a messy contract signing every time. Jade says, I know. But why fix what isn't broken? Then Bicycle kicks her and signs the contract, lays the clipboard on her chest and says, that title is the key to my kingdom. The Jade Empire will commence on Sunday. So then we hear Many Men by 50 Cent play as Jade Cargill comes out determined in all white with Ted DiBiase Jr., Batista, Ace Austin, and Teddy Hart escorting to the ring. So that's the bank. And we see Tony Storm. She comes out in all black and she's holding the belt up high, high-fiving people in the audience. So they start off with the collar and elbow tie-up. Jade uses her strength to move back to the ropes. She slowly lets go, and as the ref is counting, Jade gets a sucker punch in. Tony hits 3 straight elbows to Jade's face and does a victory cry and goes for the last elbow, but Jade is quicker with an elbow and drops Tony. At one point, Jade lifts Tony up suplex style, then squats with her, and her butt almost touches the mat for her because it shows you how strong she is. When she comes back up, she finishes the suplex. At one point, Tony does like a running rear naked choke, like she jumps up on her back to choke her out. But Jade quickly runs backwards to the turnbuckle to knock her off. She keeps doing this until she actually falls off, and then does a foot choke until the ref counts to 4 and she lets go. At one point, Tony does a running springboard back elbow to Jade on the apron. At one point, Tony does a basement drop kick, and when Jade hits the ground first, she starts holding her face and like she sits up, and then Tony does her little like hip attack, like she grabs your head and does like the 4 hip attacks to your head, and then swings her hips around as the crowd goes whoa, and then she hits her with the last one. At one point, Jade does a diving double axe handle off the middle turnbuckle, but it's caught with the super kick to the chin. Tony quickly goes for the pin, but Jade quickly kicks out. At one point, Jade sprints at Tony, but is met with a headbutt and a German suplex that she bridges into a pin. 1, 2, Jade kicks out. At one point, Jade Irish whips Tony. Tony tries to slide in between Jade's legs, but is caught, and she picks her up and hits a hair whip backbreaker. At one point, Jade and Tony are both on the apron. Jade elbows Tony, then has her sitting on the middle rope, then does a springboard curb stomp to Tony's chest and plants her back on the apron. She rolls out of the ring in pain as Jade rests on the ropes. One moment, Tony hits a fisherman brainbuster and holds her there and rolls with her and hits it one more time as the crowd cheers when she's pinning. 1, 2, Jade kicks out as the crowd is holding their head in amazement. Then we got Jade goes for the Storm Zero to humiliate Tony, but Tony flips out of it and hits an air raid siren. Tony gets fired up and does a sling blade. At one point, Tony's going for the Stormbreaker, but Jade rolls out and eye rakes her, then does the reverse DDT. Then we see Jade doing an avalanche tiger suplex, goes for the pin. 1, 2, Tony kicks out. Jade gets visibly frustrated and sitting in the corner, stomping a foot as she's wondering why she's like still fighting. Tony, with barely any energy left, gets up and with her fist up, showing she still has heart. And Jade, pissed off, screams and does a running bicycle kick. Then Tony's clearly knocked out from this. Jade drags her to the middle of the ring and hits Jaded for the 1, 2, 3. She throws her leg off and waits for the referee to bring the title in as the crowd boos. Jade buries her head in her hands, like starting to cry, and then she like holds the belt up as the members of the bank come out, like all in unison, like clapping. And that's the end of that.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to present Jade Cargill in like a more sympathetic light? I'm really getting that vibe.
It's kind of she's kind of like a like. She's like my monster female character, but she's trying to get across the like she's like I worked hard for where I'm at, and she feels like because I've worked hard, I put in the work that I'm better than you, and you should like understand everything I went through.
So she's the heel.
And she's definitely a heel. She's definitely a heel.
So
She's
there's
like,
no sympathy.
No, I'm saying that's what she's trying to get.
Okay.
That's what she's trying to say. She's like you should understand everything I've been through. Because I worked hard to get here, and you guys don't have to go through that. Like, and I had to do all that to get here. You guys didn't, and you guys are pretty much saying like you guys are pathetic. I worked my ass off. You know, it's just that kind of thing. But Tony Stormer's like I worked my ass off too. You know, saying I'm not. She's trying to say I'm not sympathetic with you because I've worked my ass off.
Because I feel like a lot of like the presentation was really trying to paint Jade sympathetically.
No. She just that was the promo she was cutting across. That's why the very next week Tony was like, she even said, she was like, do you want us to hate you or feel sorry for what are you getting at? She was like, because we don't. She was like, all of us back here, all the wrestlers back here, we all worked hard to get here.
Because I know because when she won, she was like crying and had her head in her hands and all that too. That kind of gave me that feeling.
Yeah, it was boyhood dreams just coming
Yeah,
true.
I think it would have been better if she just like got right up and like stood over, like she knew she was gonna win this. There was never a doubt in her mind.
It's just kind of one of those things where it's like a flutter of emotions because because Tony's had the title all this time and she's beating.
But for your monster though was the
Oh no, I get that, but yeah, that's just the character she's getting.
And just the character she's presenting wouldn't be crying, would just like no, she's that bitch.
I need a minute.
I need to hear someone else's.
I'm gonna give you a 3. Like, there's parts that I liked. Like, I think the match was good. I started off liking the beat that bitch ass, and then by the end of it, I hated it.
I liked it. I was on it for the whole time. I was there for the whole time.
I liked it the first time when you did it, and then when it became a chant and they kept doing it, I hated it by the end.
No,
I hated it
I
from the
wasn't.
beginning.
No, I
wasn't
liked it
vibing
even
with
more
it.
than-
I'm with Travis on that one. We're the haters once again.
I didn't feel like it fit Tony Storm at all. I didn't like. I can't imagine her saying it like. And also, I don't really. It just felt very forced in there. Like it felt
like a forced like chant and everything. Like
it was trying to create a brand of charisma that like didn't.
She doesn't
fit.
have. Yeah.
And like it.
It
well,
doesn't. It didn't really fit a face.
Yeah, she has like a. I don't know. It's a different.
Well, a lot of faces
type.
have like chants and shit like
They
that.
have chants, but not like
beat that bitch ass.
That bitch ass. Yeah.
Well, Stone Cold kind of has a like what is it? Open up a can of whoop ass, some shit like that. He says that.
Yeah, but like the fans aren't chanting it with him.
And beat that bitch ass.
No, I like it, Kenny. I liked it. So
yeah,
I'm here for
I like that when she did it.
We haven't had any chance yet in BookItVerse. I was trying to start something here.
Don't.
Yeah, we did.
Don't keep that.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we fucking did.
No,
This is alpha.
No, we didn't.
Nobody does
This
that.
is alpha.
Both was gonna get a chant before that.
Alpha.
This is Bofa.
Yeah.
and then Damone stole it and made this is toxic.
Okay, I actually chanted that one.
This is toxic. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna give you a 3.
They copy.
Mine was
They
better.
hate, but they do it better. Damone did it better.
Change one word.
Yeah, it improved it.
I'm gonna I'll rate next. So I didn't enjoy a lot of the promo presentation. I felt like it was really mixed up. I feel like Tony Storm was presented with more of Jade Cargill's character, and Jade Cargill was presented with more of Tony Storm's, and I just felt like it was really mixed up. I
agree.
The energy was just really weird with this feud. The match had some good spots, and I think the right person won. I think it would have been a lot more of the right person winning if she was herself, if that makes sense. Like if she wasn't doing all this like sympathetic stuff, then her beating Tony Storm would have been perfect. But I feel like trying to humanize her does her less good than harm. Does that make sense? Like I don't want a human Jade Cargill. Yeah. I want Jade Cargill to just be a machine that just fucks with us.
Okay,
you know
I mean, that's okay.
That's just what I want out of it. You know what I mean? Like I
don't.
Which
I get. It was just kind of a. That was just the kind of heel angle I was going with her. It's pretty much like I worked hard to get here. You guys are. You know what I'm saying? Like she's like, well, it's kind of like that. You guys are sitting on the couch talking about me, but I've been out here doing this. Kind of thing.
You just kind of humanized her too much. Too much emotion from her, which like, just not the way that she's presented, I guess. And props for originality, I guess, but it's just not for me. Okay. Match was all right, but didn't care for the promos. I'm gonna give you a 2.5, and all 2.5 of that is gonna be the match, because I just really didn't like the promos very much. It just didn't. I don't know. I don't want to be a hater, but the match was good. The promos weren't.
Okay.
So, I'm pretty much right there with John. Like the good stuff about this was that the match was decent. I don't like crying in the ring. You should love me because I don't. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit, especially a monster heel. Like unless you're turning her babyface right now, which I don't think you are. So
well, he said he's not.
Well, I know. Yeah, but I'm going off of what I'm seeing. I can't go off of what he tells me he's going to do in the future.
Yeah, that Tony Khan press conference. I swear she's not a babyface.
Now you can't do that.
Are you still crying about the fucking BookItVerse 1?
Yes, I
am. I think that John was being a little generous with. I thought the promos were not good at all. I did not like whoop that bitch ass. That was whoop that trick. Like you was over here like. I didn't.
If I chanting World Star next.
If you said whoop that trick, I would have given you an extra quarter.
It doesn't. It just I didn't like it.
You had a British person say that they're lying.
That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't fit. I feel like
Storm should have came out to whip that trick.
So here's the thing. I'm gonna give this is like God. This I'm not gonna like discredit you. I didn't like these things, and I'm giving you a 2. So like this next point is just like for going forward is something I've noticed. I think you are putting a little bit too much of yourself into these characters. I think everybody has a little bit of Kenny in them. where they don't need it. Like that was my problem with the Kyle O'Reilly doing this thing. It's not something that he would do in my mind. It's the whoop that bitch ass isn't something that. I can't think of her fucking name.
Jade
right now.
Cargill cutting that promo would have made sense.
Yeah, Jade Cargill making that promo, I would have popped. But fucking, what's her name? Toni Storm. I kept wanting to say Liv Morgan.
You mix those characters like it's like they have the Scooby Doo where like the souls get sucked out of their body.
They were the Spider-Man meme. Listen. So yeah, I'm gonna give you a 2.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to start a little chant with her. I guess it didn't work.
All right, Mike.
Well, it worked in New York. They loved it. They was talking about what that bitch ass too. They was doing it.
I love the promo. Like, that was the best part for me. I thought the match was good. I'm going 4.5.
What the
God?
I loved it.
Mike had a good gummy tonight.
There you go. I love it, Mike. I love it.
Mike's going to keep you from having your worst show ever.
All right. So now, everybody rated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all 4 of y'all rated. Okay. So week 1, after being defeated on the comeback show to TH2, we see Jimmy Uso on one knee and holding his shoulder as Jey Uso wraps his arm around him, nursing his shoulder as well. TH2 was Jack Evans and Angelico.
Okay. I just need to. I don't know what the fuck that is.
And he had hurt his shoulder after being hit with the Dragon Suplex / Rock Bottom combo by TH2. Week 2, we see Usos go against the RK Owens, and they put on the impressive 5-star match that ends with Jimmy Uso going to super kick Orton. Orton ducks, and Jay is hit. When he turns around, he almost gets hit with an RKO out of nowhere, but he pushes him. He kicks him in the gut and goes for a crucifix bomb, but his shoulder starts acting up again and drops him. Randy takes advantage and RKOs him. He gets the pin for the 3 count as the crowd cheers. RK Owens get up and they're cheering on the way out of the ring. Jimmy is holding his shoulder again as Jay nurses the wound. Jay walks away and the super kicks Jimmy. He stands over his body as the crowd boos. He drags his unconscious body out of the ring and tosses him over the barricade. He tells a fan in the front row to get out the way. He grabs a chair and hits the barricade with it, causing a loud thud that makes the crowd uneasy. He walks over to Jimmy and cracks him in the back with it several times. He takes the fans' popcorn and dumps it all over his back as the crowd boos. He tosses Jimmy back over the barricade. Jimmy's crawling, begging his brother to please stop. Jay picks up Jimmy by his face and starts yelling in his face, "I've had enough!" and slams his head against the ring post. Jimmy lays there like a bloody mess. So week 3 starts with Jey Uso in the ring with a microphone with a sad look in his face. He gets on the microphone and says, "In order to succeed in this world, you have to make tough decisions. My pops always said, when you aren't getting the desired results, you got to trim the fat. You got to cut your losses." The crowd boos even harder. We hear the Usos music hit, and Jimmy comes out banged up. He's like, "Why, Us? I loved you like a brother, man. Matter of fact, you are my brother, man. The hell has gotten into you. We 2 peas in a pod. We on track to be the GOAT tag team. Why mess that up? United we stand, divided
we 2 nuts
fall.
in a sack."
Divided we fall. Blood thicker than water, Us. I love you, man. As he gets in the ring, Jay says, "I've been holding this in for years. For a while there, Jimmy, you held me." He said, "For a while there, Jimmy, you held me back. Getting in trouble with the law, violating wellness policies. No more of that." The crowd starts booing him heavy. He looks at the crowd and says, "Day in, day out, I put my all into the ring."
Day one ish, you had to throw that in.
He said, "Day in, day out, I put my all into the ring." And you see him on TMZ for getting in trouble with the law. I'm not the bad guy here. There is no good or bad. There's weak and there's the strong, Oos. And I refuse to be weak. Then Jay super kicks Jimmy. He grabs a chair and opens it up on his neck while he's on the ground and sits on the chair with the mic. "I refuse to be weak, Oos. No more to bullshit. Holding me back. Yeah, blood thicker than water. But if you love something, sometimes you got to learn to live without it. Even though we were twins, I felt alone. And it's all your fault, Oos. At Anarchy Rules, I'm here to save you. I had to save you from yourself. I'm going to put you out of your misery." He picks up the chair while it's open and slams it against Jimmy's throat several times while he's on the ground. He picks him up and has him in a full Nelson and does the bulldog into the in that position onto the chair. Jimmy lays there in pain. Then now we're going to week 4. Week 4, Jay is fighting Nice Pac, and Jay is going to work on him the entire match. He gets set up for a super kick, but then we hear the Usos music play. Jay's distracted by this, and Jimmy hits and Nice Pac hits a schoolboy for the 3 count. Nice Pac cheers as the crowd is booing. He turns around to a pissed off Jay super kicking him. He starts beating him down as Victoria tries to pull him off. He shoves her down and gives her a look like, "You better not step in." We see Jimmy come through the crowd and dives on Jay. he starts swinging on him. In the middle of the fight, Nice Pot grabs a mic and says, "Brothers, we shouldn't fight. We should unite." Nodding with the like wide open smile. He's like that. And Jimmy yells, Jimmy super kick. I'm sorry, can't read. They both double super kick him. Then they get in each other's faces, and then they start swinging again as security pulls them off each other. Jimmy yells, "You want to fight? We'll do that then." Anarchy Rules. You got it. The crowd cheers as he nods his head, walking backward up the ramp. So we're at the night of pay-per-view. Jey Uso comes out first in all black with a chain on and black hat. He comes out real determined as the crowd boos. And then Jimmy Uso comes out in all red with a Bloodline t-shirt. The match starts out with them both staring each other down. They both go for different moves, but the other seems to counter or evade it because they know each other so well. This ends after Jimmy goes for a clothesline and Jey ducks it, and then Jimmy turns around to an enziguri. At one point, Jey hits a Japanese like hip toss, then kips up and getting fired up to boos from the crowd. At one point, Jey hits an exploder. It's stiff. Then Jimmy does a dragon suplex, rolls with him, then does a half Nelson suplex, rolls with him again, then does a German suplex. He pins 1, 2, Jey kicks out. At one point, Jimmy does a running springboard. Like he tried to do a running springboard like Bulldog, but when he turns around, he gets hit with the enziguri by Jey. And at one point, Jimmy goes for an Uso splash, but Jimmy kips up and European uppercuts him out of the air. And we get several replays of him just doing the kip up and European uppercut. He goes for the pin. 1, 2, Jimmy kicks out. At one point, Jey does an apron Death Valley driver to Jimmy. At one point, Jimmy does a running tornado DDT, but is reversed into a Northern Light suplex. Jey hits a palm strike that drops Jimmy at one point. He goes for the pin, but he quickly kicks out. Jimmy hits a suicide dive on Jey. At one point, Jimmy goes for a super kick, but Jey ducks it and kicks him in the gut and then does a tiger bomb. Jimmy does a running head scissors and gets the crowd hyped. Then goes for a slingshot forearm smash to the outside. And then Jimmy hits an avalanche Falcon Arrow. Then we had Jey hits a super kick that sends Jimmy through the middle rope and out of the ring. Then Jey does a clover leaf. Jimmy gets out of it, kicks him off. And when Jey goes for a spear, Jimmy leapfrogs him and super kicks him. Jey hits a tilt-a-whirl DDT as the crowd boos. He goes and then climbs the top rope and hits a diving double knee drop to Jimmy's chest. And then the very end, Jey goes for a backslide pin. 1, 2, but Jimmy kicks out, then hits he gets up and does a vertebreaker as the crowd cheers and as he lifts him. And then he pins him. 1, 2, 3. Jimmy Uso ends up winning.
I'll start with some comments. I'm not quite to my number.
Okay.
Some of the spots are really, really good.
Okay.
That European
But everything
uppercut
else
spot.
sucks.
Shut the fuck up. I'm not even there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, the European uppercut spot went crazy. I really liked that spot. That was really cool. I imagined that, and I just imagined him getting fucking folded. Like, so,
it's one of them ones like they just fall back.
Yeah, I really liked that spot. That was really good. The promos were hit and miss for me. Like, there were some parts I was like, okay, this is good. This has good drama, good background references. A few things where I was like, that's corny. Yeah, that's corny. Particularly Jay's promos were a little corny, and now Jey lost, so he really going out sad. So you kind of doing the opposite of reality, where it's main event Jimmy. You got he probably had a DUI before this match, so you're rewarding the push. I don't hate this though. I think I'm between a 3.5 and a 3.75, so I'm gonna go with a 3.6.
Okay.
I'm not gonna like Kenny. You had a 5 in your pocket.
Same.
Then
You made the wrong guy win.
the wrong guy won. So I'm gonna give you a 4.
Okay.
Jay 100% should have won this, especially like given the promos and everything. Yeah, Jay definitely should have won this feud because now, like, when you do a Jay, like, you can't even beat Jimmy.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This was a one-off. I'm not even gonna lie to you. This is a one-off.
So they gotta get back
that
together
makes me-
after this.
Are they also question? Are they with Roman at this point or no?
They are with Roman. So their team is like dissolving. It's dissolving. So it's literally just it's Roman.
Chef Boy O'Reilly's cashing on Roman tonight. Great. Fucking great.
It's gonna be nice, Pod. You wrote that in.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I guess you had a 5 and you lost it because, like I said, I don't know what you do. Like you said, you're not doing anything with Jay, or Jimmy. So, like, this kind of was useless. It actually makes me want me to drop your score down more.
Well, you don't know that. Don't do that.
I won't do that because theoretically, I wouldn't know that going forward.
But
I'm not going to do to you like y'all did to me.
But you do leave the question though. The moment you can rate on though, what I think is fair. Not that I want to egg it on, but like you can't rate for what Kenny said in response when you ask that question, but you can rate on being left with the question. What do you do with Jay at this point? Does that make sense?
That's why he dropped down to a 4 from the 5.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I'm giving you a 3.5. I think it was a good feud. I didn't really like the Nice Pac shit, but I don't like Nice Pac. I felt he didn't fit this at all. I felt it was weird.
Well, he didn't really do anything. Was just get his ass beat. That was it.
Funny.
It just feels like you put him in there just to get the pop from us, and I don't really. You were patronizing us, just like if we put each other in the stuff. I didn't like that.
Oh no, it wasn't. It was just literally.
Nice Pac should be the world champion.
Gravy doesn't like giving the fans what they want.
No, I don't.
It wasn't important. It was just literally they just whooped his ass real quick, and then it went back. It was kind of like a get him out the way. We're back to that because
I think that would be hilarious. Like Nice Pac is like, come on, get to be brothers, and then like they just both super kick him. I think that would be hilarious.
Yeah, I liked that. That was one of the promos I did like. I liked it.
Also, I will say that these promos felt better than promos I've heard from you in the past.
It was the peas in a pod promo I didn't like. I thought that was corny.
But that was Jimmy that said that, right? Yep. And you said that Jay was the one that was.
I might have had it mixed up.
Yeah, Jimmy said that because Jay started then on that same exchange.
Gotcha.
Started talking about DUIs and stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're right. I had a little bit of a mix up.
Okay, yeah, that's why I was confused. I was like, because in my head I was like, Jimmy had the corny promos, and Jay had the better ones.
Let me mix that up a little bit. Then I don't think it changes my number because the corny promos still happened. But the guy who cut the corny promos won the match. So I don't know if that's better or worse because now he's not going out sad, but like he's like.
I feel like he shouldn't have been.
But he's also showing that he shouldn't have been in the winner. I don't know. I'm just keeping my rating where it's at, but now I don't know if that's better or worse.
What did you give it, John?
I gave it a 3.6.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm gonna be the hater.
Yeah, I'm going to give it another 4.5. I liked it again. I don't really have anything wrong to say about it. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you. All right.
Kenny bought Mike's loyalty. I don't know how he did it, but I don't know. He gave you free Taco Bell and McDonald's.
Yeah, we're about to see Mike show just get 4.5s on his show.
No, it's gonna be the match before last where Mike finally snaps back to reality. He does this to me too, where like he'll be rating me good, then like the match before last, Mike wakes up, he's like, "Oh, this shit's ass."
I'm not even mad at it. Travis was dick riding Mike the one week. That fucking glacier shit.
I never.
Hey, that glacier shit is lit.
Yeah, see, he was dick riding, so I'm not mad. All right, so week 1, we see Malachi and JTG playing foosball in the locker room, and Eric Bischoff is pissed that JTG still has the belt. He walks up to him and says, Jeff Hardy will beat you. You better count your days. JTG says, without even looking at him, it states in my contract that I have up to 2 months to defend the belt after a previous defense. I plan on taking advantage of that. I'm a little tired from my last match, so I'm going to relax.
That's a dumb contract.
Right.
Eric gets in his face and yells, no, you will defend your title tonight. Do you hear me? JTG says, loud and clear. He nods his head. Malachi grabs him and shoves his head in the foosball table. Says, you are not in control here, Eric.
Is he like flicking the little thing with the foosball table?
Wait. He said, you are not in control here, Eric. Can I call you Eric? I'm sure you wouldn't mind considering the circumstances. You're probably pissing your pants right now. I just need you to know one thing. I am not to be messed with. This is my brand now. Malachi is Noah in the Ark, and I'm the wrath of God. I plan on doing away with this entire company. I will be the champion, and I will wash away everything until there's nothing left. Then JTG hits his face twice with the foosball player. Now get out of my face. So week 2, we see Eric Bischoff say, I want to make sure Jeff Hardy's safe. He's injured at the moment, but I want to make sure nothing happens to him while he's recovering. I went to Monday Night Madness and grabbed a competitor, Chavo Guerrero. You will face Malachi the Carver. You will take him out. This way, John the Great doesn't have any help when he fights Jeff Hardy. Chavo and Malachi wrestle, and it ends with Malachi hitting Chavo with a black mask for the win. Malachi continues to beat up on Chavo while the bell keeps ringing. He takes Chavo out of the ring and Irish whips him shoulder first into the barricade as Chavo screaming out in agony. He unfolds the chair in his arm and runs it into a steel post. He stands there. Security holds him back as he laughs. So now we're in week 3. Chavo's backstage holding his shoulder after getting beat down like last week by Malachi. He's seen walking down the hallway until Malachi charges him and slams his head against the wall. He repeatedly kicks him. Then when Chavo is trying to get up, we see the black mass and his head bounces off the wall from the kick. He picks him up one more time and says, "Since Jeff isn't here, you're my whipping boy for the time being. Next week, we do this all over again. I'm going to be on your ass until Jeff is cleared to wrestle."
That's how Keith's wife talks to him.
He says, "Hopefully you clear some room for me in your schedule." Then he lets go of him as he drops to the ground. Like he just kind of lifelessly just drops to the ground. Week 4, we see a limo pull up. Eddie Guerrero comes out the chairs as he's pissed off. He says, "Malachi the Carver, what you did to my sobrino was crossing the line, puta. You're nothing more than a 2-bit maton. Now, I may not be a part of this company, but I can take a day off from there to come and show you a lesson in pain, social. I don't know exactly I don't know exactly where you are at the moment, but all I know is I know where you better be. At Anarchy Rules, you better get your happy ass down to the ring and be on the other side when that bell rings."
Eddie?
Yeah, this is Eddie.
This man just got murdered by Owen Hart, and he's over here doing this shit.
He said, "You're messing with the real gangster, Holmes. After I take care of you, JTG is next." They say, "Viva la raza." All right. So then they get to the match.
He said that was 0 seasoning.
I did. I can't do that accent. Malachi the Carver comes out in black trunks with Carver and silver on the back. And Eddie comes out in black tights with purple, green, and gold trim. So the match starts off. Eddie goes for a clothesline immediately. Malachi pushes his arm and gives a stiff kick to his chest. Eddie starts charging up anyway and stiff slaps him. Then does a stiff kick right back to him as the crowd gets hype as he walks towards the ropes. Eddie does a running sit out crucifix bomb to the corner. He goes for the pin. 1, 2. Malachi kicks out. Malachi sweeps Eddie and then hits a standing moonsault quickly after. At one point, Eddie is on the apron, does a slingshot somersault senton to Malachi. Then we have Eddie. He gets Malachi in the corner and does multiple stiff chops to the chest that leaves Malachi's chest purple. Malachi is sitting on the top rope. Eddie goes for Hurricane Rana, but Malachi rolls out of it in midair, pops up and does the running springboard moonsault press that hits Eddie while he's standing. Malachi goes for a diving crossbody, and Eddie moves out of the way, and the ref gets hit. Eddie looks to the right, looks to the left, gives a little smirk to the camera. He slides up to the ring to grab a chair, but when he grabs it, he turns around and Malachi's sitting. There's this little crisscross thing staring back at him. Eddie's like, "The fuck?" And then Malachi kips up and goes for a black mass and kicks the chair out of Eddie's hands. Eddie nods his head, realizing he's met his match. Eddie does a monkey flip to Malachi in the corner. Malachi lands on his feet. Eddie spots this and sprints towards him, but is met with a jumping knee to the chest that drops him. Malachi goes for the pin. 1, 2. Eddie barely kicks out as he's trying to shake his head back into consciousness. At one point, Eddie hits 2 of the 3 amigos. On the third, Malachi wiggles out of it in the air and tosses Eddie out of the ring. And when Eddie's out of the ring, he rests his body against the steel post. Malachi does a running big boot that makes Eddie's head bounce off. The same way he hit Chavo with, but Eddie's still pushing through. At one point, Eddie hits a suplex ringside. Then one point, Eddie goes to grab a chair and he's pissed off. And the ref is warning him, "You're going to get DQ'd if you use that chair." And he's like, "I don't care." He's about to do it anyway. But Vicky Guerrero runs out there and she's begging him not to do it. He stops. And then when he puts the chair down, Malachi takes advantage of it and spears him into the barricade. But he doesn't break through. He just spears him into it. At one point, Eddie climbs the turnbuckle, shaking his shoulders and jumps off for the frog splash. Malachi rolls out of the way. At one point, Malachi goes for a shin kick, but Eddie jumps over it. But Malachi comes back with a black mass with the other leg. When Eddie's feet hits the ground in one fluid motion, Eddie's out. Malachi sits on his chest for the 1, 2, 3. He gets up and his hands. He gets up and has his hands up with his chest, lean on the ropes. We see Jeff Hardy run down the ramp with a chair. He's hyped behind him, holding the chair as Malachi doesn't see him. He turns around to a mean chair shot, right to the face. And when he hits him, Malachi's nose is bleeding, just blood's everywhere. We see JTG run down with his Singapore cane, the one he calls Janice. Jeff Hardy's ready to fight him, but when JT gets to the second step, he smiles and walks backwards off the steps. And as he's walking away backwards, Jeff is fired up in the ring. Jeff looks at him and wraps the chair around Malachi's neck and does a twist of fate, and that puts him out. Jeff looks at John the Great and yells out, "From now on, I don't deal with him. He's out of the equation. It's me and you. You hear me? It's going to be me and you." and then it cuts to the next match.
To be honest, this was pretty mid to me. Like the build was okay. Like the JTG stuff was good.
Mm-hmm.
The foosball thing was a little silly, but I'm not gonna like ding you for that.
I kind of liked it.
I kind of liked it too, like him putting his head against that part was really good. But like the build itself, like I feel like this match didn't deserve to be on the pay-per-view. Like Eddie facing one of JTG's goons, which Malachi is pretty much just a goon here. I'm gonna give you a 2.75. Like I think the match, and a lot of that's the match.
Okay.
I have some mixed thoughts on this too. So that first JTG promo with the foosball table, there was some parts of that where I was like, "This is fucking heat," and there were some parts of that where I was like, "This is so stupid." So you're just like really like back and forth on these promos.
It's a roller coaster.
Yeah. So like for example, like the Wrath of God stuff when he had it Bischoff pressing against him, that was fire. That was great. I also thought the stipulation of JTG's contract is really stupid, but I said that out loud. I thought that's dumb.
That's what everybody's contract. You had it because the rule ones exploded at 1.2 when they weren't trying to wrestle.
That's a weird rule, but
Mexico.
I'm not gonna dock you for that because I have some weird rules in my company too.
Y'all got shitty lawyers.
Yeah. I get trying to be original. It's just kind of weird. The match was good, but I kind of agree with Damone. Like I didn't feel like it was very consequential. I feel like this feud was like halfway about JTG and Jeff Hardy, and then halfway about Chavo and Eddie and Malachi. It was kind of a lot of moving parts. Yeah, for a match with two people, it was a lot of moving parts.
It's a little overbooked.
And at the end, like none of it mattered. Like, so what if he beats Eddie? Like, okay, Eddie's like not on this.
He's just getting that Eddie appearance in. He got to get the trade.
yeah, pretty much.
But it was one of those things. It was just my way of taking Malachi out of the equation. So now it can truly be JTG and Jeff Hardy now. Like now,
I feel like you could have done just Jeff Hardy versus Malachi,
and that would have been fire.
Take out Malachi you could have done that. It feels like it was forced.
Yeah, I feel like you were just trying to force your trade in.
I'd say he just wanted to get Eddie Guerrero.
The fact that because he was injured, so it was like that was a way of being able to do that. But I get what y'all saying.
I don't hate this though. Not as much as Damone did. I actually liked it a little bit more than that. I'm gonna give this a 3.5. It had some redeeming qualities, and there wasn't anything like glaring about it. It was just some stuff that could have been better.
Excuse me. Okay.
Mike, you want to go?
I think it was just a mid-match. Nothing really stood out to me. There was nothing that made me pop. I'm gonna go with 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna be a little bit different. I thought.
Oh shit!
You peaked early with the promo with JTG and the foosball table, and I think it went kind of downhill from there. I agree, it was forced, and like you were just looking for a way to use Eddie Guerrero. I know you're saying that's not what the case was, but that's how it's coming off to me, and it feels like that's how everybody else is seeing it as well. I'm gonna give you a 2.25. I think it was just under mid.
I forget that Travis's version of mid is different than our version of mid.
Yeah, because we're supposed to start from 0.5, not from 0. We can't give a 0.
That's all good.
I should be able to give a 0.
So next BookItVerse, everyone gets 1 0 and 1 5.
We don't forget what we gave it out at. That's the only thing about it.
One every round.
I'm here for
I think it should be 1 for the whole series. Like the worst thing ever. Like you have to pick that one moment where you just
break.
The
one best thing.
Yeah.
552. So
yeah, that one moment where you just break and you're just like, fuck.
It's gonna suck. Somebody gets all 0s on their one fucking match. It's unanimous. The worst thing.
Yeah, that'd be like, damn.
I would cry if that happened to me.
Just hit the Leaf studio at that point.
I say, yeah, this show's a wash. The pay-per-view just gets cut off.
The next one, week 1, Sammy Guevara, I think they say his name. Guevara and Andrade are backstage talking. Guevara and Andrade are backstage talking. Sammy says, "Listen, me and you have been going back and forth trying to prove who's the better competitor. I've won twice. You've won twice. I think we should just consider the stalemate work together. Me and you, but we could rule this place. I feel like we could do more together than we could in singles action. Just a couple of SOBs from the SOB. Do me a favor, think on it." Sammy leaves the locker room as Andrade nods his head. Later that night, we see a street vendor selling apples with his head down. Carlito says, "Hey, you, I'm taking this apple, and you are going to do nothing about it." Now that's cool. He grabs the apple, tosses it up in the air, and the street vendor catches it before he can take the bite. The vendor's head lifts up and says, "I don't think so, Chico." He gets up, towering over Carlito. Carlito looks worried. "See, now I could grab you by that curly wig of yours and toss you around the street. You see, they paid for my protection, man. But I got a better idea. You got spunk, Chico. You remind me a lot of myself. So how about we shake things up?" Carlito smiles and says, "Say hello to the bad guy." Week 3, we see La Resistance in the match with Carlito and Razor Ramon as they hit their finishing move, which is a razor's edge tossed into a backstabber from Carlito called an apple a day.
That is fire. That's a fire finisher.
Yeah, that's heat.
Carlito hooks the leg for the pin as Razor's doing his famous arms out taunt behind him. The ref counts to 3 as boos form over the crowd, and they both get up smiling. Carlito grabs the apple from underneath the turnbuckle, bites it, chewing it. Its juices like juice from the apple, like dripping down his chest. He keeps chewing, walks up to Conway, spits in his face. The same night, AR Fox and Rich Swann put on a phenomenal match with the SOBs from SOB. Sammy Guevara. So the sons of bitches from south of the border.
Here's where you're wrong. Sammy Guevara is Spanish. You realize that means Spain, right?
Yeah, well, it's south of some border somewhere.
It's not. It's in Europe.
There's borders in Europe.
They're not south.
I think it's the northernest state, or not state, but Spain? It's one of the northernest countries. Yes.
Well, you know what? There's still a southern border somewhere.
He's an American of Spanish heritage.
This is racist.
Can he be a problematic?
Yeah, you're losing some change for that. That pissing me off.
I'm gonna find out where Spain is. Hold on.
Oh my fucking god!
It doesn't matter.
How are you gonna say Spain is northern? Like north? No, that's Norway, Sweden, England. Spain is south. So it is south.
In terms of the world,
France. So
no
it
one
is
cares.
France's border. So it's south of France.
Is he French?
No, he's southern.
Well, then whoop-de-fucking do.
SOB from south of the border.
And he's also
the SOB from south of France, I guess.
South of Portugal.
Well, I guess he's the SOB from south of Portugal, I guess.
It's a border. He's not wrong.
They're the
and he's not from there. He's from Katy, Texas. He's from Texas.
Shut up. Mike, get Kitty's dick out of your throat for 5 seconds so the oxygen can come back to your brain and you can process this shit clearly.
I'm sorry that he's having a good show.
Michael.
He
is from Texas. The only borders he's south of are Oklahoma and Canada.
You're letting this man get away with racism on live. Like, stop this.
He is of Spanish heritage and lives in Texas. You're getting cooked for that. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's fine.
You out of all of us, you should be the one that should be the most mad, Mike.
All right. So Sammy ends up beating AR Fox with a 630 in that match. So week 4, Carlito says, "I feel like we can beat your Golden Boys, the rude ones, but they don't want that to happen. The Elite don't want that to happen. They want us to fight Sammy Guevara and Andrade. They're scared of having Latin tag team champions. They put us in a match before in a fatal 4-way match. But now this tag team match should show them that we'll blow the roof off of DPW. So when Razors and Apples defeat SOBs from SOB, we better get a shot at those championships, TDJ, because that is cool." He takes a bite of his apple and spits it at the camera. And Razor Ramon's walking by real smooth, laughing as he throws his toothpick at the camera as well. So we're at the pay-per-view. Carlito and Razor Ramon both come out in blue trunks. Carlito sporting a white Hawaiian shirt with blue accents. I'm sorry, they both are wearing blue trunks, and then he's wearing a white Hawaiian shirt. And then the SOBs from SOB come out in white pants and white shoes. So Sammy and Carlito walk up to each other talking mess. They both go for a collar and elbow tie-up. Sammy knees him in the stomach, then Irish whips him. Carlito hits a double knee face breaker that drops him. He goes for the pin, but Sammy kicks out at 2. At one point, Sammy kicks Carlito in the shin, and when Carlito drops to his knees, Sammy sticks his middle finger in Carlito's face and does a super kick. At one point, Razor Ramon Irish whips Sammy, then gives Sammy a back body drop that sends him over the top rope, and he hits the floor ringside as the crowd gets all on their feet, like looking over to see if he's okay as Sammy's favoring his back. We see multiple replays of him like hitting the ground as the crowd's chanting "Holy shit!" Razor does a double choke slam to Sammy and Andrade. At one point, Andrade hits a buckle bomb on Razor. At one point, Sammy hits Irish whips Carlito. He leapfrogs, and then when he comes back, he drops to his back and monkey flips him. Sammy hits a running shooting star clothesline off the apron to Carlito. At one point, Razor does an Irish whip to Andrade and does the little spider thing he does. I don't know what that move's called, but he does that shit. Andrade hits an avalanche inverted Frankensteiner on Carlito. Goes for the pin, 1, 2, but he kicks out. At one point, Razor does an abdominal stretch on Sammy while elbowing his side. He's just doing like stiff ass elbows to his side as the crowd is groaning with each hit. He does about 4 of them. Carlito has Sammy in DDT position. Andrade sprints and bounces off the ropes and clotheslines Carlito, which drops them both and finishes the DDT Carlito had him in. Sammy runs at Razor, and Razor does the black hole slam into a backbreaker. And then one point, Razor hits an avalanche double underhook backbreaker to Sammy. Then we see Sammy standing on the second turnbuckle facing the crowd and does a 180 jump onto the top rope, then does a diving foot stamp to Carlito's chest. Goes for the pin, 1, 2, Carlito kicks out. Then at one point, Razor and Carlito flapjack Sammy in the air, and they both stiff kick him in the chest at the same time while he's airborne. And then at one point, Razor does a diving bulldog on Andrade. Then Andrade does a springboard blockbuster to Carlito later on the match. And then Carlito hits a slingshot crossbar to Sammy on the outside. Then Razor does a backbreaker to Sammy and holds him there as Carlito hits the senton bomb. And then Carlito picks him up. And then Irish whips him to Razor Ramon. The Razor Ramon lifts him up for the Razor's Edge. And then they do the finisher, an apple a day, for the 1, 2, 3. And Carlito holds his apple up as Razor Ramon's doing a little charged up taunt to finish the match.
Question. And this is question. I need to know this because, well, A, so I remember. And it also does affect your grading.
Okay.
How many uses of Carlito did I give you?
I think you only gave me the 1. I think I'm only.
How many uses of? He only has the 1 of Razor. So the issue I have is like that finisher is fire. By the way, I'll give you credit for that.
Thank you.
But like this isn't leading anywhere. Like they're not coming. Like they aren't going to be on the next pay-per-view.
They might be. Kenny, my DMs are open. You can hit me with the trade offers.
I was going to say
DMs are open too.
I was going to say,
and that's the thing too. I wanted to decline those trades
just to kneecap him.
I was going to say I wanted to
decline the trade, kneecap him.
I was going to say I wanted to make the trade again. I did want to bring this team back again because I was making their moves. I literally made a move set for them. Like they got some moves.
I'm open to. I like this as a tag team. I like their tag team finisher. Yes. And so I'm willing to give the trade as long as the deal is right.
Mine too, because my Carlito is my world champion. So
and Scott Hall is in my second biggest feud of.
Right, so you don't have to pay.
He made it one of my 2 nights.
2K22, they will be uploaded here soon. I got them ready. They're ready. They're ready to go.
But that finisher is fire. I'm gonna give you a 4 for this. I really like it. Like the only thing I didn't like that was really corny was. Why the fuck was Scott Hall Razor fucking an apple vendor?
It was he was a bodyguard for the apple vendor.
He was a bodyguard for the apple vendor?
He's a bodyguard for it. He's a bodyguard for it. Because Carlito thought he was going to be able to punk him. He was like, nah, that shit ain't happening.
If it weren't for this SOB thing,
the
probably
SOB
would have been a 5
hurt.
for me.
Same.
But that pissed me off.
I can't reward racism.
So
it's one of the things where like because asked me on the Thursday night throwdown and Andrade and Sammy Guevara were like giving each other like you guys were like what's going on with them? It was supposed to be like they have like a friendly rivalry that ends up turning into a fucking tag team. That's what it was. And I couldn't think of a nickname or
it's just ill-informed.
It ended up being the SOBs from SOB.
Yeah, that's awful.
That was a bad name before I found out that he was Spanish.
Well, his name's the Spanish God. It should have not been hard.
I don't watch AEW like that, and I don't care about Sammy Guevara at all.
So that dropped at $1 for me because that pissed me off. So you're at a 4.
I agree at 4.
Okay.
Mike's like, I loved it. 4.75.
4.75. Put it down.
Okay.
There you go.
I just gave him a bullet.
This door is going to give you an average of a
4.6.
I like the show so far. I'll be honest. I'm here for it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
This is his best show so far.
Thank you.
Ever?
Don't fuck it up.
Okay, so after weeks being off television, the heartless Montez Ford makes his first appearance in a month.
Ooh.
What's up, bitches and bitchettes?
Wait, what?
Yeah. Wait, let me think.
Defend this now, Mike.
Nope, I can't.
What's up, bitches and bitchettes? I have been silent for too motherfucking long. Eric Bischoff said, so he says, my fault. I read that wrong. Montez pulls out a sheet of paper. Eric Bischoff said, after careful deliberation, DPW has decided not to fire heartless Montez Ford because Too Cold Scorpio can no longer compete in the wrestling match again. The higher-ups, a.k.a. bitch-ass Ted DiBiase Jr., has decided that Montez Ford can no longer use the burning hammer because it was unsafe. It could potentially end an in-ring talent's career. The crowd boos. Already had my Money in the Bank shot stripped away from me and replaced by bum-ass Loki. And to make matters worse, this man was carted out the ring halfway through the match. But I digress. I plan on being champion. It's been too damn long. And I plan on being the face of this company. Y'all see the flashy clothes, the limos, the women, and think I'm not focused. Well, y'all can't be farther from the truth. I will be champion. So the next week, Randy Orton walks up to Montez Ford backstage and says, what are you drinking in that solo cup? Ted says, beer. You want some? And as Randy reaches out, he squeezes the cup and drops it. And Randy Orton smiles at disrespect, and he's like, I like that. Just letting you know, I plan on wearing that belt. You're just another young punk that's in my way. I plan on becoming champion one more time before I retire. So I like the back and forth we're having. But at Anarchy Rules, the legend killer Randy Orton will be the number one contender. Then the Viper becomes the 15-time world champion. Randy Orton walks off as Ted smiles. We see Randy Orton put on a 20-minute classic with Tajiri. He wins the match and walks backstage and looks at Cortez. Walks over Montez. I don't know where Cortez came from. Montez, top that. Montez Ford wrestles against Pac, and Pac is getting the upper hand in the match until he goes for a running springboard moonsault, but gets super kicked in the neck. Pac is clearly defeated. Tez goes for the burning hammer. As the crowd cheers, he lets go of him, pissed off, and he's like, fuck, I can't use that move. He hits the DDT. He goes for the pin and wins as he throws the hook leg off and pissed. And then week 4, Randy Orton comes out and says, Montez Ford talks a lot. And Anarchy Rules, I plan on shutting his mouth for him. Just know, as I become the world champion for the 15th time, you'll just be a trivia question. Who did Randy Orton beat to become the number one contender for yet another title? Because you won't even be a has-been. You'll be a who the hell was that? Montez smiles and says, I like that. But I got something for you soon. All I know is after I kick your ass, I want 2 things from you. Don't complain and don't explain. You take that L like a man. Randy Orton shakes his hand and pulls him in. Randy says, I respect you a lot, Montez. You give it your all, I'll give it mine. You fight till you can't stand. You hear me? You fight till you can't stand, and I'll do the same. Throw all that heartless shit away. Randall Keith Orton versus Kenneth Crawford. Fuck that other shit. Montez nods his head in respect and is like, I got you. So now we get to the actual match. Montez Ford comes out to the Humpty Dance, escorted by Lana Rhodes and Pinky, black Raiders jersey, black shorts, black kick pads, black boots, gold chain, a black hat that says LA on it. Randy Orton comes out in black trunks with white design, a black t-shirt that says RKO and the NWO style font. So the match starts off with a test of strength between the two, and they find out they're evenly matched. Randy smiles and nods his head. Then goes to shake his hand, but Ford punches him. Ford back chops Randy while he's leaning against the turnbuckle. This move makes Ford hold his chest and falls forward with him. So he's literally he back chops him, and while Randy Orton is falling forward holding his chest, he's doing it right alongside him, just being a dick. He pops back up and kicks him in the head. Randy stomps on each of it. At one point, Randy does the little, stomps on each limb while he's on the ground. At one point, Ford goes for a suicide dive, but Randy catches him in midair and does the DDT. I'm sorry. He catches him midair, DDT style, and gets up on the apron with him, and then finishes the DDT, just a little head shake. This is the DDT. One point, Ford slingshots himself out of the ring for a crossbody, but Orton drop kicks him out of the air. One point, Randy does a T-bone suplex and kips up to the crowd cheering. Ford sprints at Randy, but Randy turns into a power slam and gets hyped. Ford gets back up, but gets hit in the face with a stiff drop kick to the face. So we see a replay of the impact of the drop kick, like hitting his face as Randy goes for the pin. 1, 2, Ford kicks out. At one point, Ford does it like a tightrope walk, and then does a senton bomb to Orton standing up. Orton does at one point, Orton does an avalanche angle slam, goes for the pin, but Ford quickly kicks out. At one point, Ford goes for a running wheelbarrow, but Orton tosses him up in the air and hits an RKO. So the ref is still out. He lays on him for the pin. The crowd chants 1, 2, 3. Randy gets up pissed at the ref. He shakes him pissed off as the ref is still out. Randy tossed Ford up in the air, tosses Ford out of the ring, grabs a chair. Montez is resting on the steel post. Randy swings the chair and Montez ducks, and we hear how loud the chair smacks against the post. Ford quickly elbows him and then tosses him over the barricade. Ford walks up the steps and he says, "Get your popcorn ready." He runs full speed and does the top atomico over the steps onto Randy at the bottom. As the crowd goes crazy, they both lay there, and the crowd's chanting "Holy shit!" as the cameras focus on the two on the ground. Then they get back into the ring. Ford does a running DDT that Randy sells. He sells it pretty stiff. And then the referee's getting back up at this point. Ford signals for the burning hammer, but then gets pissed because he's like, "Yeah, I can't use it." He climbs the top rope, hits the frog splash. He pins. 1, 2, 3. The crowd is mixed between cheers and boos as he gets up with his hand raised, as Montez Ford is our number 1 contender.
Okay.
So I kind of wish you had Ford just say, "Fuck that, I'm using the burning hammer anyway." What the fuck you gonna do? you ain't gonna fire me. Like you can suspend me again. You I can just keep
so country just
me.
now. You ain't gonna fire me.
You ain't gonna fire me.
What you gonna do?
Fuck y'all gonna do. I didn't like that you had him use his like real name. Like that felt corny. And some of the Orton parts felt pretty like corny. I hate to keep using that word, but
it's a good word for this.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give it a 3.75.
Wow, you're nice.
The match was good. I like the match.
Well, Travis about to have some shit for you.
In the words of MGK, let's talk about it.
White man quote Machine Gun Kelly, you know it's gonna get real.
Okay, so first off, I hate all of the like every other word felt like he was cussing. There was 3-4 F-bombs in there. I hate that shit. Like I feel like it's the laziest promo writing ability.
It was literally only one.
You said motherfucker at least once, and then you said fuck all that by Randy Orton later. So there's at least 2 for sure.
Oh, so that's 2.
And you also said bitches and bitch ass.
That's too many.
Okay, bitches and bitch ass.
So you need gold standard rules, and so yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. It's just so I don't know. It just feels wrong to me. The stuff that wasn't cussing in the promos didn't feel like Montez Ford before felt like he was like creative and like had like some swag to him and everything. Now he feels like he's just edgy to be edgy. I don't feel like there's much substance to him anymore. The match was fire. The match is saving you a lot. So I'm going to give you a 2.75.
Okay. And I had similar thoughts with Travis. He stole some of my words a little bit. Like the first time with Montez Ford, I actually loved some parts of that promo. I thought like the puns, like the jokes about other wrestlers were like really funny, and I thought that like he nailed his promo the first time. And and with these promos, both on Randy's end and on Montez's end, it's not so much that you cussed a lot that bothered me. It just felt like they were being edgy to be edgy, like Travis said. It felt like,
which is where the cussing comes in.
Yeah,
you use cuss words as enhancement to the passion and the all that. If you're just throwing cuss words around every 3 sentences, then it doesn't matter.
Well, it wasn't the amount of them that bothered me. It was just like the content of the promos just seemed like kind of, I'm not going to say corny, but I'm going to say it felt like it had no personality other than I'm a badass. Like it didn't have anything else to it, in my opinion. The match was pretty good though. I do agree with Damone about the burning hammer thing. I think he should, if you really want to make him just the worst person ever, have him do it anyway.
Well, the thing about him too, when his character is like fighting between face and heel. Like he's literally like he's a heel, but he has goodness in him. That's kind of thing I'm
He should stop. He should just be a heel.
So he's not heartless?
Yeah, because it doesn't feel like you give him the nickname Heartless, and
You
he
haven't
doesn't
shown
feel
the
heartless.
good.
But
Yeah,
that's
you're not
what I'm
going.
saying. Even from day one, when he injured him, he felt bad, and then was like, but then he
Yeah,
was
and
like,
I didn't like it then either.
Then he's not a
Yeah.
heel.
Then he's not Heartless.
Well,
yeah, no,
Well,
I'm just
let me-
letting you know what the character is. Like, what
yeah,
I
let me
get
give
it,
my
but-
input on that. Is that this could, like, the concept you have, like, that you're saying right now, that not that what's shown on screen, what you're saying is a good idea, but I think you have to make those splits in the alignment more clear, because just having a tiny bit of remorse for doing something awful, that's just being alive. Like, most serial killers feel a little bit of remorse after they do it. They're still pieces of shit. Like, that's not goodness. That's just like, you haven't lost that last shred of empathy yet. Like,
You know what would really help that argument is if you had, instead of it being banned, Ford just said, "I'm not going to do the burning hammer anymore because I don't want to hurt anybody." I
Yeah.
think that would be a better balance to like show that like yes he's yes he's a heel, but he does have like that struggle between doing the right thing and like being an asshole.
Yeah.
Like I think that would have been a better way to show that.
But this is like off-screen knowledge, but I don't feel like you're pulling off what you're saying. My final number is going to be pretty close to Travis. I don't know if it's going to be above or below. I'm kind of deciding last second. I'm going to match it exactly, 2.75.
Yeah. And then Mike, where you at?
I'm at where they're at. I'm also at a 2.75. I thought it was just all right.
You said 2.75?
Yeah, he got
2.75.
2.75.
And what did John say?
2.75.
Yeah, I decided
wow.
to match because like I was like torn between going above or below because I had some different problems with it, but I decided to match.
Okay. All right. So now we're at the main event. Okay. So week one, Vince McMahon and Eric Bischoff joined forces on the first episode back from Worlds Collide on Monday Night Madness. So the entire active roster is at the stage waiting on Roman Reigns to come out. And Usos, at this point, Usos come out smiling. The crowd waits, and Roman Reigns' music hits, and he comes out in the needle mover shirt with both titles. Randy Orton looks at him with a smirk because he's been there before. He walks down the ring with the Usos and is given the mic by Vince. Roman says, "Houston, acknowledge me. I set this up to make sure everyone in the back sees that there is a champion, a true fighting champion who comes in and week out to defend the titles against the likes of you. TDJ told me there's pretty much no one worthy enough to beat me. I'm at the top of the food chain. I am more than a needle mover, more than a tribal chief. I've become a god. So before I wanted you to acknowledge me, now that I've been acknowledged, I need you to worship me." The crowd boos as he goes to exit the ring with his belt. But we hear Moxie's music play as he comes down the crowd singing along to a song. Wow, thing. He calls for a mic, and Mox says, "You may be the tribal chief, but there's a new sheriff in town. I remember when we were whipping ass and taking names together. See, I was a different person then, Roman. I wasn't as free to do as I pleased. For years, I wanted to slap that shit-eating grin off your face because I was the true leader of that faction. I should have been one going for the big belt. I took a back seat to see my friend shine. But along the way, we both lost sight. You let that gold around your waist consume you. It consumed your very spirit. You are no longer my friend. I have to beat that evil entity that has taken over you. So not only do I have to beat my friend for the belt, but I'm beating you to save you from you, actually." Roman starts laughing. "Are you done with the sermon, John? You're either stupid or very brave to come out here. I will smash you like everyone else that steps in the ring with a tribal chief. Is that what you want? I'm the DPW Undisputed Champion. This is the DPW Undisputed Championship. You have to earn this. This isn't something we give away in an AA meeting. This isn't a recovery chip. This is the championship. It's prestigious. It's legendary. It's me. It's an extension of myself and all the hard work it took for me to get here." John Moxley says, "Brave? You want to talk about brave? Brave isn't about having no fears. Bravery is having fear, being able to have the balls to face them. I've been through alcoholism. I've been through nerves from coming out here. And if you think you are the end-all, be-all, then you are sadly mistaken. I'm the man of the people. You, Roman Reigns, are shit. Everything you love turns to shit The Usos are on. The
You said he's shitting.
The Usos are fighting right now, dealing with each other. The rest of your family has left you. All you have is pretty much Rikishi, and soon he'll be gone too. So yeah, I acknowledge you. I acknowledge that you will be the one to lose. Even after I put my career on the line, you will not leave Anarchy Rules with that belt. So then week 2, John Moxley defeats Sanjay Dutt pretty quickly and ends the match with a paradigm shift. He gets up and calls for the mic and says, Roman, you can't hide from me. Soon it will be me and you. We hear Roman's music hit, but no one comes out. Mox grits his teeth and says, coward, as he leaves the ring. Week 3, John Moxley defeats Tajiri. We hear Roman's music hit again, but this time Roman does come out. He comes out with Rikishi. Rikishi's holding a small box of this as they come out. John looks confused on what that is. Roman says, you made it seem like I was hiding from you last week. I had business that I had to take care of. So I don't like being called a coward, John. The business I had to take care of was making sure that we fight at Anarchy Rules, me and you. The crowd starts cheering. Yeah, y'all love that, huh? Under a certain stipulation. I have a match for you. You lost to him before. And then Rikishi opens up the box to reveal a bottle of beer. The crowd starts booing. Roman says, come on. How can you beat me when you can't beat Bud over here? I believe in you, John. I think you can do it. Come on. The crowd boos even more. Says, I can do something you can't do. Rikishi hands on the bottle. Roman drinks it and doesn't break eye contact with him as the crowd boos. He hands it to Mox and Mox nods his head. Then he cracks the ball over Roman's head. Roman drops to the ground, favoring the back of his head. Mox flicks him off. Rikishi runs towards him, and Mox kicks him in the gut and hits the paradigm shift as the crowd goes crazy. He pops back up and gets on the turnbuckles. The crowd goes nuts. He looks around, taking in the energy from the crowd. Week 4, Roman Reigns comes out and says, acknowledge me. The crowd cheers, but just as he's about to say more, John Moxley's music hit, and the crowd erupts. Nobody wants to hear that, Roman. Let's not wait for Anarchy Rules. I'm ready to kick your ass right now. The crowd's cheering as he walks down the ramp, taking off his vest as he's walking down, throws it down. Roman laughs and says, we go on my terms. I have the championship advantage. The ball is in my court, and I say what goes. The crowd boos. We hear TDJ's music hit, that money, 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 money. But the LJ's plays as he comes out. TDJ says, I love the back and forth between you two, but if you guys are going to kill each other on my watch, I want it to be done my way. The devil is in the details, and here's what I'm planning. The match will be a no DQ match. So there's no way to weasel out of this, Roman. And just to make sure this match is called down the middle and there's no funny business, I have a special referee for this match. Let's welcome the special referee for this undisputed championship match. Seth Rollins comes out dancing in the black and white striped suit, laughing as the crowd going crazy. Roman, nice to see you again, buddy. Johnny boy, long time no see. And then Roman's getting pissed. He's like, this is ridiculous, DiBiase. Not only do I have to worry about Mox, I got to watch my back for Beetlejuice here right now. This is bull. TDJ says, it's either that or you relinquish your title. So what's it going to be? Roman, pissed off, puts his hand out for Mox to shake. Mox looking around for the crowd for approval. That Seth is in the background, hopping up and down, excited. Mox spits in his own hand and shakes it as the crowd goes crazy. So the night of the match, Seth comes out dancing. So he comes out first, and he's in his little striped black and white black and white suit and a jacket with white fur. Then Moxley comes out in black pants, black boots, black t-shirt that says unscripted violence on it. And then Roman comes out, black pants, black boots, and black t-shirt that says head of the table on it. So the match starts off with them being forehead to forehead, talking shit to each other. The ref pushes them both back and rings the bell to signal for the start of the match. The crowd cheers as Mox runs full speed at him, but Roman ducks under the ropes, and there's the ref gets in between them. Roman smiling tells the ref to back him up. He's like, back him up, and continues to do this 2 more times, and Mox is visibly frustrated. When Mox back is turned, he swings on from behind as the crowd boos. At one point, Roman elbows Mox, and he's falling backwards, and he's like does a little like thing where he like does his like body against the ropes, and then comes back and does the clothesline.
The rebound lariat.
Yeah, I never knew the name of it. Yeah, that move. Mox does a buckle bomb followed by a running bulldog. One point, Roman gets him to the outside of the ring and then does his little drive-by kick. Roman goes for a standing guillotine choke, but Mox wiggles out of it and does a Northern Light suplex. And then at one point, Mox hits a suicide dive, and he's like standing up, like nodding his head as the crowd's cheering. Mox stiff punches Roman until Roman starts bleeding from his eyebrow. The crowd's like going crazy because he's got him bleeding. Roman's getting up slowly, and Mox does a Superman punch. He walks to the corner and goes, ooh, ah. He goes for the spear, but Roman knees him in the face and then does his own paradigm shift. He goes for the pin, but Mox kicks out at 2. and the crowd's chanting as they both sit there. At one point, Mox hits a diving cutter to Roman outside of the ring, and the crowd's going crazy. We see multiple replays of him jumping outside the ring to hit the cutter. Mox does a crucifix bomb toss to Roman through the announcer's table. And at one point, when Roman's like starting to like get like crawl, he gets up towards the barricade. Mox spears him through it. And at one point, Roman does a half Nelson suplex on the actual mat. Like he pulls the mat back and then does a half Nelson suplex on the actual ground. At one point, Mox does a pedigree, then follows it up with a curb stomp while he's trying to get up. Rollins is jumping up and down crazy because he's using his move, and he goes for the pin 1, 2, but he ends up kicking out. Roman hits a Topo Tomaco to him on the outside. And at one point, Roman hits a superplex and crawls to Roman for the pin. 1, 2. Roman kicks out as the crowd is groaning that they thought Moxley was going to get the win. And then Roman hits a Superman punch. Moxley's laid out, and Roman crawls and goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Roman is the winner as the crowd boos and he lays there in pain.
Wait, he beat him with the Superman punch?
Yeah, he beat him with the Superman punch.
So now Moxley's retired, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he retired him.
All right. Kenny, I love wrestling too much to be subjected to this. I am mad.
He's not mildly annoyed. He's flat out disgusted.
What you mad at?
This gave me terminal cancer. So I'm really mad at the build, honestly. The promos were just like, you've had some highs on promos tonight, and I feel like you really hit a low on these promos. Like, I feel like some things like both parties said were corny. I feel like Roman was getting too many cheers, and then like the alcoholism thing was randomly thrown in for some cheap heat. I feel like, I don't know if this needed more time, just more detail or more thought, but I feel like you just kind of like took what you know about Roman Reigns and Jon Moxley, like took everything you know about them and just threw it in a blender and like just fucking poured it in a cup. Like,
yeah, but that promo, it was just it was a visual thing. I just pictured Roman like just drinking a beer, just like not breaking eye contact, just looking at him, like just being a dick to him.
I would not see Roman ever doing that. Like, granted, you can change characters as you see fit, but I don't vibe with it. I was really...
Roman do be doing toxic shit.
Yeah, but he don't
exactly.
be drinking on camera.
He's done some toxic shit here.
Like, I don't know. This hit me all sorts of wrong. And then, like, Seth being the special referee could have been cooler than it was, but then they're just roasting his fit and not, like, going deeper into the history that they could have. There's a lot of missed opportunities here. And then Moxley retiring after such an inconsequential build is just... it just hits all sorts of wrong, and I hate to be a hater. I thought I'd change my ways, but
I don't believe that for a minute.
I'm trying, but this keeps it from happening.
Drop your number.
I'm gonna come back to it. Y'all go.
Drop your number.
No, drop your number.
I'm sick of this. Drop what you want to say so we can move on.
Yeah, you want us to give a number so you can like
you drop your number. You want to be the first to talk with the last to grade.
All right, 0.5. I gotta go with it. I'm sorry. This made me mad. I'm sorry. I didn't feel any positive emotions. I'm so sorry.
Okay,
man.
I didn't hate it nearly as much as John.
Yeah, me either.
I do think that you could have done way more with like Seth being the referee as opposed to just kind of just being there and oh yeah, it's Seth and he dances and he didn't really need to be there. It felt like
I'd rather him be in the match.
Right, I'd rather him be in the match or not there at all, or be in a separate match. I actually like the AA line. I think that was a good dig, and I can see Roman doing the like drinking a beer or drinking something in front of Moxley to be a dick because Roman is a dick and he's toxic as fuck. The match is good. I do understand some of the gripes that John had, so I'm gonna give it a 3.25.
I kind of feel like a piece of shit now.
No, that's why we wanted you to drop your grade before because you would adjust it so you don't seem like the dick. Just be the dick.
Yeah, exactly. Give him honest ratings, not what you don't. I don't know.
I don't know. I just
when
feel like
y'all
I
do
could be
that.
excessive sometimes. I don't know.
Well, that's how you feel. That's what your grading is. I'm gonna give you a. So here's the thing. I don't know what it was. I can't. I'm gonna be like Mike this time because I don't have a firm grasp on what the situation was that I didn't like about it. There was some things I liked. The match was cool. I like the matchup. I think that more could have been done with it. So I'm gonna give you a 2. I feel like
I actually do have a question. Why did Moxley have to retire? Like you mentioned it, I was like, wait, why is he retiring?
He basically just said like, I just feel like I took a back seat to help you out, and I feel like I should have put my own on the line. Like I should have took advantage of the moment then, but I'm gonna take it now in your biggest moment. And I'm gonna take that moment now and do that. So I'm gonna put my career on the line just to beat you. That's just what it was.
Did you draft Moxley or did you borrow him from somebody?
I drafted him.
Well, that's where I'm confused, I guess. Like, why did he have to put his title, like his career on the line? Like, there's no build to the I'm putting my title on the line. It just feels like our career. I'm putting my career. It's not like he lost to Roman already and he has to do it to get another shot. It just feels
where he just. Yeah, it's just one of those things where
I'm not gonna ding you for it, but
I feel like that's one of the biggest reasons I did ding though. Like, so now you're not dinging for it, and I feel like a bigger piece of shit because that's a huge reason
you're grading differently.
So let me explain.
I already gave him his grade. So.
That was a big reason why I dinged is just because like it did not make sense to have such big stakes. And if Moxley had won, you could have just had those stakes to dick around with, but he lost. So like he's like gone from wrestling now. For what?
He could come back. I mean, it's wrestling.
Yeah, but then it's stupid. Then it's worse. Like he's retired from wrestling.
Ric Flair
for what?
Retired how many times?
Yeah, but usually that wasn't good, and Ric Flair should have stayed retired. Also, like the way he has his show, the way he has his show set up, it's not like there's gonna be like 8 months from now he's gonna show back up. Like there's like a month or 2 gap between your shows.
Yeah, it's always a month.
Like so, like he's gonna unretire in 2 months. That's a dud. Like what is the point of having him?
Here's the thing.
Retire at the beginning.
You guys are forgetting one part of this is that Kenny's on a season format, so he's 2 months away from the show from this shit being over.
Yeah, this is it.
Till next year. Like
yeah, but theoretically, if this was a real show, there'd be another season. I guess he could come back, unretire at the beginning of season 2. But
or he could come back. He could come back as a authority figure in season 2, or like the enforcer and the sheriff.
Yeah, also question: why did you do the like?
Yeah, I didn't like that shit.
Okay, the thing was, it was kind of like a. It was kind of like a joking kind of way. So he was like, "You may be the tribal chief, but I'm the sheriff in town." Like, he was like kind of fucking with him, just being a dick to him. That's all it was, just for him to come out there and just do that. It wasn't like he didn't really think of himself as the sheriff in town. He just literally did that just to be there. It
just didn't come off that way. It came off super goofy.
Kenny, I'm gonna say one more thing. I still hate this, and I was being a bit hyperbolic though. Can up me to a 1.5. I still don't like it. I still have strong thoughts, but
John's the cuck.
I was over the top.
He is.
I need to figure out how to make John feel guilty when he.
I'd say John's never done this for me. Every time he's given me a 0.5, he stood 10 toes down on it. But when Kenny fucking grades, he wants to wait and see what we fucking.
It's because he finally got put
adjust his fucking scores. Fuck him.
No, motherfucker, I have done this for you.
You haven't. You've never done this.
I have.
He's done it for everybody. He's done it for everybody. I will say that.
It's because for the first time,
I have done this for everybody.
I bet you would say that, Kenny. I bet you would say that when you're the one that's benefiting from it, right?
It's still 1.5. It's a shitty score.
It's still a shitty score.
That's one whole point more than a 0.5.
No, but
I think we've proven
John does it every time he scores though. He's always the first one to say something. He's like, I'll let y'all go.
Yeah, he's like, well, I'm gonna let you guys do it.
I say we split
because I'm quick. I know myself. I'm quick to jump to extremes, and I jumped to an extreme, and I was like, okay, maybe that was too much. Like,
no. If that's what you felt,
then don't rate first.
I tried not to.
No. You want to be the first person to talk, and then you want us all to grade so you can hear what we grade.
That's what you mess up at. You always say something first.
And then you say how many times.
Where was that a crime? Where is that a crime? It's just giving comments. Nobody's ever had a problem with that till this moment. Then everybody wants.
We're sick of it. We're sick of it.
Just think like this, John. Think like this. if you don't have your number yet, don't say shit.
Yeah, exactly,
I guess,
exactly. From now on, I'm putting this down as a founding father of Book It.
This is
whatever.
a stupid rule. Fuck off.
I'm saying if you
I have
want
free
ready
will.
to grade, don't
Will, fuck you. I'll do what I want.
Because he does do it every time. He'll be like, you know what? I need
every
time to ponder
single
on
time.
Yeah, he'll be like,
And
oh,
there's no
yeah, I was
problem with
thinking-
that.
It is. It's obviously 4 of us think it's a problem.
It's
4 out
stupid.
of 5. You're the only one.
You're
Well-
adjusting it based off of what we
That's
are.
bullshit.
I'm
grading,
preventing myself
as
from
opposed
jumping
to-
to extremes.
You were at the extreme to begin with. You already
You could-
jumped. You fell
Worst
down.
case
You're already
scenario-
off the bridge.
You lied.
John, worst case scenario, if you're gonna do it, put your score out. If you have to change it before it's over, then change it. You have until we all lock our scores in.
Okay, fine.
I hate
I
that
will.
too.
I will probably have to change it a bunch of times because
You only get one change. That's it. There's
Also,
no
here's
more.
the thing. Here's the thing. John, you told me if you use the line, you were given a 0.5. You backed out, pussy.
Well, I still gave a
Don't-
1.5. It's still a
don't
bad
be-
score.
Don't be a coward.
What line? The acknowledge me?
No.
I love wrestling too much to subject myself to this.
Oh.
I told Travis
Yeah.
I said that it was gonna be the 0.5, but I don't know that.
Yeah.
Then
he
everyone's
said-
like, it's a 3.75, and I was like, it was.
I
really
gave
that
it a
bad?
2. I gave it a
Right.
2.
He
But
did
if
get
you
the
stand 10 toes down, don't.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to be ignorant on
This
the
is why
online.
John's losing because he wavers on all fronts. Like
All right.
we tell him his shit sucks. He's like, "You're right, it does suck. I'm gonna change everything." Like he does. He has like.
Sorry
he has
for
no
being
firmness.
a normal person and listening to criticism of my
Don't do that.
contemporaries
No.
like a normal person.
Don't do that.
John, just be hard headed like the rest of it. Just say fuck
Yeah.
it. Be
Yeah,
right.
Travis, you're just toxic and you're trying to change me and corrupt me. Fuck you.
Nothing
He
wrong
is
with that. Nothing wrong with toxicity.
We are toxic.
I'm
We
the
are
normal one.
toxic.
Y'all suck. Like,
Yeah.
I'm normal. Fuck y'all.
John, that's
Four out of
John,
five- 4 out of 5 minutes
that's a
don't
heel
prove.
quote, John. That's a heel quote.
I'm the normal one here. Y'all are some shitbags. That's what y'all are.
That's some shit a heel would say. I'm normal. You
that
all
would have been a
wrong.
better. That would have been a better Jade Cargill promo. if she said that.
Whatever. Y'all
let's
can
get
suck
ready.
both of these nuts next week.
So I honestly thought this was mid. I
Okay.
didn't. I mean,
After he still had the score.
they
He was
basically
trying to
hit
talk the
on.
whole time.
Mike?
Yeah, no. I wasn't invested. Again, I wasn't invested. I think this whole thing peaked in the middle there for me, and then I would have shut it off. I would have went to bed. I would have fallen asleep.
Pizza time.
No, pizza would have already been eaten. It's bedtime. I would have just fallen asleep. It's two. I'm giving you 2.75.
So I gotta say this. John has his strategy where he fucking gives us all his notes and then waits
And
to
then-
hear us rate. Mike does the opposite where he waits till the very last second so he doesn't have to say anything. He can just give a number and go on.
Yeah.
He's like, that's
Because you guys, unless I really
Well,
got
y'all
something,
want me
you
to be
guys
mine
did.
clearly, so that's what
No,
y'all
we want
want.
you to just stick to
No,
your
we want you to be what's the fucking word I'm looking for? Like we want you to have integrity. You don't have integrity right now. You're grading based off our grades.
You're
You're grading based off our opinion.
You're giving
No,
them
you're
I am keeping myself accountable.
You're grading on a curve.
This is stupid.
I'm being accountable.
This is stupid.
Don't be.
Well, fuck you.
We go back and you look at John's, and he's just an average of
You're not being authentic. to
Watch.
yourself.
I hope
That's not the case. My score is still different. I still
What?
gave it a 1.5. That's still
Watch
way lower.
Watch
Starting
this
with a
match be the
0.5.
watch this be the match that's the difference between him and Kenny. At the end.
Why would I help him then?
Because you're dumb.
If it was the difference between me and Kenny, I would have left it at everything a 0.5 and just won. Like, fuck off.
Alright,
I'm
so-
saying. I hope that's what happens.
All right, so that's the end of the pay-per-view.
You got kicked out of the
Nope. We hear
moment.
Tyler
I
Roy's
thought you had
music
a
plays.
main event.
Oh
Are
my
you
god.
serious?
I'm
Are
dead
you
ass
serious?
serious. His music plays.
Go back.
Down the
To
ring.
go back to my old rating. Fuck no.
Yep.
Will
With
this
the
music
ring.
hit?
With the
Cut.
briefcase.
Chef Boy O'Reilly.
Except for O'Reilly.
He heads to the ref.
I knew it.
Slapped the briefcase. Was it? He called it. Travis called it. He slapped the briefcase. Do it. Do it. Do it right now. Do it right now. Do it right fucking now. Do it right now. You know the ref. What's going on? Do it now.
What?
Do
Isn't the
it.
ref Seth?
Yes. He's an idiot. The bell rings.
I now
O'Reilly
have
sprints
3
at him.
tumors.
It rains. Look, O'Reilly sprints at him and Reigns spears him. He goes for the pin. 1, 2. O'Reilly kicks out. O'Reilly grabs him in DDT position. Does a tornado DDT. He gets fired up as he signals for the running knee lift, as he calls Chef's choice.
Oh my fucking god! Fuck you!
I literally named the
I
move.
can't believe I protected you. I can't believe Why would you betray me?
He goes
This is
for
what you
it.
get, John. This is what you fucking get.
He hits it. The ref starts counting. 1, 2, 3. Kyle O'Reilly,
Point
aka
five.
Chef O'Reilly, is
Point
now
five.
Hold the fuck up!
DPW
Hold, I'm talking
Undisputed
and rating right fucking now. I'm gonna give you what you want, Trav. I'm gonna give you what you fucking want.
Wait. One thing. He gets
Oh my
up.
god!
You know what he does?
For the audio audience, he's doing the
He's like,
eating.
The
The
cereal.
chef,
Eating
yeah.
cereal.
This is stupid.
Like
TDJ walks out with the rest of the bank to the stage and he smirks and slow claps as O'Reilly holds the title up. You know they've been beefing.
Okay, so John Moxley is gone from wrestling forever. He's gone. We're never gonna see him again. We're never gonna hear Wild Thing play and the fucking crowd go crazy, and we're never gonna see it again. Not for Roman Reigns' reign to continue, which was already stupid, but for Kyle O'Reilly and his chef gimmick.
This makes me like. What did you say? Tell me last time, John. This makes me like the last match.
I'm now mad I gave you that extra $1. I'm mad I held myself accountable. I am sick.
I want to go back.
I just got flamed for 10 minutes straight on this podcast.
All right, so give
To protect you, and you do this to me.
Give him your rating.
0.5. I love wrestling too much to withstand this.
Travis.
Hey,
Fuck you.
I love wrestling too much to put up with this bullshit. Chef Boy O'Reilly can eat all of my ass and suck my dick. Fuck him. It's a 0.5.
You can eat my pussy, bald ass, dick, and pussy.
Chef O'Reilly's in the same spot Sarah Del Rey is.
Ew. And as a result,
I'm crying. I'm in tears. I'm so mad.
I'm giving you a 5 for audacity.
Oh my God, Mike!
I'm beating Mike's ass. I swear. I'm gonna drive. I'm on my way to your house right now, Mike.
I'm buying a plane
As soon
ticket
as I
to
hit Lee's
beat the
studio,
shit
I'm
out of
coming
you.
beating the fuck out of you. Right?
I'm gonna pour ranch dressing down your fucking throat and make you eat boneless wings.
It's all worth it just for Mike.
Oh my God, that's gonna average a fucking 2 on the match when it should have been a 0.5.
I hate Mike, man.
I love it.
Oh my
I
God.
wasn't expecting it.
Go ahead and do it. y'all.
We were all expecting it.
I wasn't.
We called it in the chat.
The
No,
audacity.
you didn't because I stopped. You didn't know. You didn't know.
I did.
No.
I didn't
You
get
thought
my
the show was
5
over.
audacity points, so he's getting my 5 audacity.
My family is shutting me into this room because I'm yelling at you so loud right now, Kitty. I fucking hate you.
Hey, look.
He'll never forgive you.
I will never forgive you. And I hope
all worth it.
both of your next shows flop.
I
Fuck
don't give a
you.
fuck. It was all worth it.
Hey. Everybody on Twitter right now, hashtag DPW is over party. Hashtag cancel DPW. Hashtag
Pull
cancel
up
Kyle
all
O'Reilly.
them Kenny tweets right now. Cancel.
Roman Reigns is no longer the champion.
Hashtag
And
Kyle
John Moxley's gone forever.
Hey, everybody calm down. Hashtag Kyle O'Reilly didn't even go to culinary school. Hashtag this is bullshit. Hashtag we hate Mike. Hashtag we hate John. And hashtag we hate Kenny. Me and Damone are the only people safe on this podcast.
I hate myself.
I knew it was happening. I knew it from the moment this fucking. As soon as that Uso shit happened, I said it's all fucking over.
I can't believe. Well, I thought John Moxley was gonna win because of the Uso shit and not be forced to retire.
I knew it was gonna be stupid ass Kyle O'Reilly.
I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm so mad.
Back away from your mic if you're gonna scream into it. Goddamn.
I hope every bit of
It was all
emotion is
worth it.
felt.
That's
by
what
everyone.
he
I'm gonna go back to the John Moxley match and give you a 0.5. That's how mad I am.
Am I allowed to do that? Can I do that?
No,
you can't.
all those are locked in.
All the threats are for entertainment purposes.
This is how good DPW is. It brings real emotion out of our.
This would have been my 0.
This is Xbox heat. There's no such thing as Xbox heat.
And not even nice Pac heat.
This is Xbox heat.
That's
All
how
right,
good
so-
it is. Just wait till next review.
as soon as O'Reilly's music hits, I'm turning that shit off.
I can't.
I cancel my DPW network.
There's nobody has heat like there's nobody has heat like Kyle O'Reilly does, and I love it. Yeah, I love it.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and finish this up with some plugs. Little Fudge, you got a plug?
Yeah, I do. If you want to hear me slander Kenneth for the next 2 hours, you can go follow at Lil X Fudge, and I'm gonna rip this man to shreds. I'm sick. I'm fucking ill. I have meningitis because of this.
I do too.
If you want to hear more good quality programming, go to DPW.com. Go to you can actually go to Bad Guy Spoken Podcast on YouTube, and you will see good quality content, good wholesome family content there.
There's not.
Yeah.
Travis.
Follow me on all social media at I am Travy T. That's at IAMTRAVVYT on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. And don't forget, hashtag DPW is over party, hashtag cancel DPW.
Damone.
You can follow me at The Money Colt, or not Colt, The Money 213, DAMONEYT #1 3 on Twitter and TikTok. Also, 213 has a TikTok now, so that's T13 on TikTok. So follow it.
Letter T #1 word 3 spelled out.
You can find me on Twitter, hi-fi_Mike, where I tweet at Boy Meets World and How I Met Your Mother podcast. You can find all the shows on the T13 Media Network on our website at T13media.com. That's the letter T, the #1, 3 spelled out, media.com. Rate and review us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Golden Rules 5 or fuck off.
I like how Mike gives us a little preview of what his Twitter is every time he tells us about it.
Yeah, I tell you, where I'm not gonna hide it. All I do is tweet at Boy Meets World and How I Met Your Mother podcast. and I tweeted at John. I reply to John.
When I'm bullshit other, we'll be ready to reply tonight because I'm gonna be fucking mad.
All right, see this thumb right here? This is the retweeting thumb. I got it ready.
All right. Stay tuned. Next week we're gonna go on to Damone's.
No, don't skip me.
John.
Take on John.
So, we're gonna go on to John's next pay-per-view. Let's see how that turns out.
Well, it'll be better than this ending. That's for damn sure.
This is Book It. See ya.
Bye.